having one of those days where you're feeling quite unfocused, and you're feeling quite spaced out, and perhaps you're tripping over things that have perhaps always been there, like a chair and a table, bumping into it, or tripping over a rug that's always been there. It could well be that your root chakra is imbalanced. Now, when we talk about chakras, we talk about these energy centers within our bodies. So we have these through the midline of our body. We have these different energy centers throughout where we can focus on those. So the system was created to give us something to focus on, to rebalance ourselves within that energy center. So without going too far into it, that's a basic overview of it. Now, chakra meaning wheel, so it's like a wheel that's spinning. And if you were to look up the chakra system, you would see the different energy points, and they're shown like in a lotus flower with different colors and different number of leaves as well. So I wanted to focus today on the base chakra, so the Muladhara chakra, which is located at the base of the spine. So if you want to find it, you could take your hands around to the back and just feel for that base part of your spine, and you're around about there. So that's the energy point to focus on if you are feeling quite imbalanced in that energy center, so in that chakra. Now, there's also there's a lot that you could do in your practice to perhaps bring the focus to it and rebalance it, really. Now, the colour associated with the Muladhara is the colour red. So perhaps you could invite some red into your life. So you could wear perhaps a red crystal, or wear red in your clothing, or earthy colours as well. So it could be reds and browns and things like that. So that's one way to ground yourself. Another way is going out into nature, because your root chakra can become imbalanced when you haven't been spending enough time with the trees, with the grass, being a tree hugger basically. So if you're starting to feel imbalanced like that, feeling a bit flighty, feeling a bit clumsy, there's all sorts of other points that could happen as well, that when this chakra is imbalanced. So that is a nice one to go outside, shoes and socks off, put your feet into the grass is a really nice one to just balance that and make yourself feel grounded again. And if you don't have that opportunity, sometimes we're in the city and we're just awfully busy and we don't have time to go and do that. You could find something that is from the outside, so from nature, and hold that with you. So whether that could be a pebble from the beach, or even a bit of earth, you put that in your pocket, just to have that feeling close by. So that's just some easy tips. Now, what else you could do to help with this grounding? There are some yoga poses too. So standing in Tadasana, so Tadasana is the one where you see is a full standing pose. So you've got nice erect spine, hands out by your side, and it's grounding yourself from your feet all the way up. So when we stand in Tadasana, we often do some sort of lifting up of our toes, or, putting down our toes and then just lifting the big toe and things like that to really help ourselves get grounded. So perhaps that's some exercises that you could do to get grounded. So Tadasana is a good one. Dandasana is a good one too. So that's the one where we've got our legs out straight in front of us. So that's a good pose to do. And I think Trikonasana is one of them as well. So and there is a fair few poses that you could do on your yoga mat to help yourself be grounded. And of course, sitting in lotus or easy pose is a nice one to help get you grounded too. Then there is also some mantra that you could do to bring into, so if you are meditating, you could bring the some mantra into your meditation. So when this chakra is imbalanced, it's a feeling, you're almost, it's like you're feeling unsafe, or you're feeling like everything's a little bit shaky right now. So you could bring into your meditation practice, or just into your daily life, you just put little post-it notes around. I tend to do that a little bit. So it's just, I am safe, I am grounded, I feel supported, I am supported. Words like that could really help. And if you are doing a daily meditation practice, bring that in as well. And then you could bring some sound in too. So the sound, the word that is associated with this chakra is lam, L-A-M. And you could just repeat that on a flow, either in your head or out loud. Out loud is quite nice, or you could do a few out loud, a few whispers, a few in your head, and then come back to out loud whispers in your head. So that would go getting yourself in a grounded position, and hands, now you be hands down on your knees, and then you could create that lam sound, and it's quite a low lam, lam, lam. You could flow with that, say 5 or 6 times out loud, 5 or 6 times whispering, and then silently in your head, and then again create the cycle. So there's just some pointers if you do feel a bit imbalanced, could be your base chakra, and it wouldn't harm to add those into your daily practice if you're feeling that way. And I think especially around this festive time of year, we can get a little bit out of sorts, and that can be our chakras getting a little bit imbalanced. So my next posts are going to go through all of these chakra points and different tips on how you can balance those. So again, I would love to hear your comments, and I would love to hear perhaps how you find it works for you to ground yourself and get yourself in that mode. And perhaps you didn't even know that you were balancing your base chakra. Perhaps they're just little tips that you do yourself, and I'd love to hear them. So thank you again, and namaste. I bow to the teacher in you, and I bow to the teacher in me. See you next time. Thank you. Bye for now.